and welcome to my channel Get Crafty Tutorials. Today I'll show you how to make these golden fold stickers. As you can see, these stickers have that added golden touch to them, and I'm going to show you how to make them yourself. So here are the tools and materials you are going to need. What I'll be using today is I have this sticker paper right here, and the sticker paper that I'm using is one that is specifically for inkjet, but we especially need a laser printer because I will be using the Phantom Laserprinter. The reason for this is because the inked and the laser paper, that's the one that does a trick for the golden foil. So you'll be printing on the white side, and then the other side is the sticker side, okay? Then I'll be using this golden foil. I got actually the kit from Craft & Co, but I'm going to link everything below. And this one works perfectly with the laminating machine. This is a special laminating machine that I got in a crafting shop a while ago, but you could do it with another laminating system as well. I've used a simple one also and it works, but this one is ideal if you want to get into foiling. It has an ideal starter kit, so you could order that one. So let's just go ahead and make these stickers from the get-go. So step one, we'll be using our Cricut design space, or just for the cutting option, I'm going to go through the steps. I am going to use my logo of the channel for this one, so I'm just going to open it from upload. The perfect thing to do when foiling is use a black font. I do know that my logo that I'm going to add to my canvas has that golden font, and I think it's just the reason why I wanted to use it is also to later on in the process show you why it's better to use the black font. Okay, so I'm just going to duplicate them and make two of them. So let's go ahead and put them next to each other. So quick tip as well, if you want to use a print and cut, it's always nice to have that distance between them. Just going to make sure because I'm seeing, okay, so that's not a gap. I wasn't sure, but I'm just going to show you the trick. So as you can see, we have the space between them and we have the setting set up on print, then cut. When you go ahead and click on guide, that way you see what it's going to cut. So you see that it's going to print an image, but it's also going to cut in a circle. And that is what you want when you are going to cut a sticker. So we do want that guide saying, okay, I'm going to go around it and not cut the image itself. Okay, so next step, I'm going to detach the images and click on make it to show you if they are not attached, the print and cut won't leave any margin between them. And you do not want that because then you'll have a risk that it's going to cut through the image. So we'll always want to select it and go ahead and click on attach and then click on make it, and you'll see that it's going to print out just the way you've aligned them in your canvas with that margin, so that extra space between them. That is also a tip that I can give you. So this is our mat and the paper that it's going to print. So it's printing side up. We're not going to mirror it because it's going to print. The black line that you are seeing is actually the guide for your Cricut Maker. So later on in the video, you'll see that your Cricut Maker will scan the lines to make sure the distance between the lines and then to go ahead and cut the circles. So now you can just click on continue. Okay, so then you'll get in a screen where it is another step, but you're going to see that it's going to print. So you can either click on send to printer, or if you've already printed out through this process, you could click on I've already printed. Then you'll get the print setup, and the print setup is going to just show you as a printer usually does. It's going to show you a preview of the printing page. You'll go ahead and click your printer. That is the Phantom that I'm using. It is a laser printer. So as I said, you need to use a laser printer for foiling. You can go ahead and add bleeding. That makes it that thicker to cut around, and click on print. Okay, so now it's preparing the print and it will get sent to my printer. I am using the Phantom and it is a laser printer, which is needed for this kind of craft. So now we're going to go to step 2, and that is the foiling itself. Okay, so this is my page. As you can see, the golden font is slightly lighter, but you'll see the end result in a second. So we're using a gold foil. I actually have multiple foils over here, and you can do this crafting type with multiple ones. It's by Craft & Co, and I'll put it in the bio as well. But it's actually a nice foiling tool, and you can get it in a starter kit. You can get multiple colors, and you'll just go ahead and already take off. It is a new one, so I'm just going to start ahead with this one. And I'm going to cut up the size of the foil onto a small size that is going to go on top of my page. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and use that same tape and press it onto my paper. Next thing, I'm just going to fold up the same paper. That way it gets protected. It does not harm it. So the laminator does not harm the paper. So do not be afraid for this. I've already did it 1,000 times. So it is a trick to keep it nice and close. Sometimes I like to use my Cricut scraping tool as well, just to give some tools an extra push. You can tape it as well. So that is what I'm going to. Okay, so I'm just going to take a bit of this heating tape. It's a tape that is specially used for when you're coming in contact with heat, such as for the mug press. So it is going to be used often during crafting. So I'm just going to cut off a little small piece to go ahead and close off the gap between both pages. That way I avoid of the page opening up, but it shouldn't be happening because with a laminator, you always get that pressing matter. So we just go ahead and insert the paper into the machine. And as you can see, the machine does all the work for you. You do not have to press it. It just goes ahead and swallows the paper as it is pressing the foil onto your inked as well. So that is the importance of using a laser printer and that kind of inks, and also the foiling. So what's happening over there, the magic, as I always say, is that it's going to stick onto the ink of the laser printer. So before actually taking the foil off, I always do a little sneak peek because sometimes you want to redo the same process. Okay, so I can definitely see the gold foil, but I'm just going to give it an extra session over here. So I'm just going to redo the process to make sure that the foil has been taken up by the ink. As I told you before, I do have a lighter shade and I do have a golden shade. So that means those parts will not be golden because it is quite light. So it won't be absorbing the foil as it has to, but black the black icons and the black text, that will be gold for sure. So you'll see in an instant, but there we go. Part 2 is almost over. Okay, and let's open it up right now. I'm just going to turn off my machine because it can heat up and it does have that kind of heating smell. So yeah, also a tip, do not be afraid of the smell of the machine. It's totally normal. Again, you can use another laminator as well. It doesn't have to be this one, but I do love my crafting tools. Okay, so there you go, guys. I do not know if you can see it, but it definitely worked. The only thing that I'm just imagining right now is I know a lot of you that already did print and cut know how encouraging it is to go ahead and scan the lines. So as they are gold, I am really, it's a tricky thing. So either my Cricut Maker will recognize it or not. So basically now we go back to our Cricut design space. We'll click on printable sticker paper, okay, because that is what we're using. And then we'll go ahead and put the paper back on our light grip mat, the blue one, and go ahead and insert it in the Cricut Maker. So this part is actually the tricky part because before cutting the stickers out, your Cricut Maker will want to scan. So you'll see that it will prepare, then it will start scanning. So do not be afraid because while scanning, you'll see that there's a light and it will go ahead and measure up the sizes. So the way it has to, between the lines and where it's going to cut. So I'm just going to let my Cricut Maker do the magic and we'll see each other for the last part, and it is the final results. Okay, so step 4, final results. I think you guys understood the assignment and go ahead and make them yourself because it's so easy. I'm linking everything in bio and I'm just thanking you for watching Get Crafty tutorials.